Hi everybody, it's time to do the November block of the month for Nettles in Pleasant Grove. We are going to do two blocks this month, the November and the December block. And we're going to have them as two separate videos. So make sure you watch both of them. We'll put them both on the thing at the same time. And then you can pick up both blocks on Friday the 13th. Don't be scared. But come in on Friday the 13th and from 4 to 7, and we'll have your blocks ready to go. All right, so let's start with the November block. This is what it's gonna look like. This looks like little dragon teeth or something to me, but it's a fun little block. It looks harder than it is. All it is half square triangles. So I'll go through what we're gonna cut it out, how you cut it out and what you do. And then I want to show you how to put it together. So, okay, so the block A, which is the background, the blue in this, is going to be a 6-inch width of fabric. Block B, which is the pink in here, is going to be a 6-inch by 14, probably 6-inch by 22-inch piece of fabric. And then C is a 3-inch by width of fabric, and that's going to be the teeth that are in there. We'll just call them teeth. Okay, so what you're going to do, it tells you the instructions of how to cut them out. You're going to cut out two 6-inch squares from the A and B, then 12 3-inch squares from the A, and 12 3-inch squares from the C. And those are going to go together. And then you'll also have 4 2-inch squares from the A, and that's going to be those that go in the corner where they're not half square triangles. So really, it's a really easy pattern. So I'm just going to walk you through it. You'll have your squares, your 3-inch squares. You're going to put one of each kind together, and then you're going to draw a line down the middle, sew on both sides, cut it apart, open it up, and then you are going to cut it down to be 2 inches. So that's what this square is right here. It started out to be a 2-inch square. Okay, and we'll do the same thing with the 6-inch blocks. You're just going to put those together, line down the middle, sew on each side. You guys should be experts at this because we've done it so much. And then you'll cut them apart, and this square is going to be 5-inch, and all that is in the instructions, so you'll be able to do that. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, though, is how to put it together. So when you're doing this, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your half square triangles that have the teeth, and you're going to make 4 of this kind and 4 or 3 together like this, and you'll say, hey, what's the difference between them? But if you look at them, they go a different way, okay? See, the triangle goes this way and it goes that way. But all the 4 blocks are the same. So what I found was the easiest to do is I did 4 that looked exactly like this, and then I did 4 that looked exactly like this. This is where your 2-inch square goes. So we've got those, and we'll have all 4 of them here. Then I did got my 4 5-inch half square triangles, and I put those together. So let's just look at this one. We're just going to do this one square right here. If you look at it, in this fabric, the tan is the pink, okay? And the print is the blue or the background. So I've got it like that, okay? Now I'm going to take these teeth, and those are going to go right there because the gold is the light pink. And then I'm going to set this one here. Okay, so which one do I want to sew on first? I don't want to sew this because it's got that extra block and it'll just be hanging in the wind. So I'm going to sew this 3-piece one right here, right sides together, open that up, and then it makes it easy to just put those right there, match it up, and sew that along here. Now, a few things that I ran into is sometimes I'm using a machine I haven't used a lot, and so sometimes my 1/4 inch is a little bit off. And when I first did this, they were a little bit smaller than the 5 inch, and even this you can see it's a little bit smaller. So what do I do with that? See that? I've got like a 1/4 inch, I don't think it's quite a 1/4 inch, but I've got some room there to play with. So what I did is, remember this trick? We just put the biggest one on the bottom, and then as I sew, I kind of pull it. I've got the ends matched up there, and I just pull it a little bit so I can fit that in nice, and then it will match. Now what happens if this piece is bigger than the other? If that's that problem, then you've not taken a big enough seam. So the easy thing to do is just go back and take another little seam across there till you can get them to match. Because you don't want to stretch, if it's too much, you don't want it to pucker, but you can always unpick and put them back together. But that's just an idea of what you can do. If sometimes when we get doing these little squares, they don't match up just perfect, but you can pull it a little bit. If it's too much, if this part's too big, take a little bit more of a seam and see if that helps, but you can kind of just get it to fit in there. I hope that makes sense. So then what you're going to do is, after you have that put on, remember that's going to be sewn on there, we're just going to sew the other piece on here. And if you have to stretch it a little bit, you do, or if you have to make it smaller, you can do that, okay? So when you have those 4 squares put together, then you're just going to copy the pattern and make sure you have it put together right. One thing you can see here is in the middle is where, let me get it right, as I'm talking about this. Okay, when we get it put together in the middle, see that little square that's gonna, or little, did I do that one wrong? Okay, don't look at this one, I did that one wrong. It should have the piece there. So listen to the good things that I said, but not the bad things. But in the middle, you can see that it will have this little square like that, and that's when you know you've done it correctly. Okay? So I don't have the different colors with me right now for the other color waves, but they will be here. They'll be beautiful. You'll love them. It'll be great. Okay, so that's all of November's block, and stay tuned for December.